Hey everybody, Dogbert here with an update to my Arena Guide infographic. It's been a little bit since I updated this I should say, and I wanted to get this out here, plus I updated it with some colors so you know. Now the first thing to get out of the way, nothing is 100% guaranteed to work all the time. This is due to the high resistance on Morgan and the need to land the ability block. This also comes into effect when you start talking about punch-ups. Good luck on punch-ups, especially if you try to do a big punch-up. A lot of this is dependent on gear. You know, you pretty much have to do punch across, slider punch ups. As you get more into the top end stuff with like full dark hold and dorm hold, you can start doing more punch ups then. But generally, in the lower ends, you're not going to be doing punch ups, especially if your Eternals are not geared. It all comes down to that. Also, when you're talking about Morgan, there is big differences between a 4-4 and a 5-5 Morgan. There's not so big differences between a 5-5 and a 6 yellow 5 red Morgan, or even or a 6 yellow 5 red versus a 7 yellow 5 red. Generally about 1 star level, but the differences between like a 3-3, a 4-4, and a 5-5 are huge and can easily make the difference between you winning or losing. And if you're trying to do something really crazy like a 4-4 versus a 7-5, you're probably not going to like that outcome. So let's go into this. And we'll first start with, of course, the full Darkhold, which is not the arena meta. It can be easily defeated by these teams in green. Green meaning you have a high probability of winning, but things can still go wrong, and you could still end up losing. And then you have yellow down here, which means it's more a little bit better than a coin toss, but you could still lose its course as well. You're not as guaranteed to win. You're going to see most teams involve this core of Emma, the Eternals, Morgan, and then a random fifth. Usually the fifth will be a non-mystic, but in the case of using an Agatha of a Morgan against this, you'll still go first and you'll still have the ability to win. The Sinister cloning still does work, just not as reliable. If you're going against full dorm hold, this means you're in a higher end arena. People have finished ED5. The best option, this one's probably the closest to a guaranteed win, is the Emma, Eternals, Morgan, Dormammu. This one can even win if you don't land the ability block on Morgan. This is actually more dependent upon stunning Wong with Dormammu. Even a baby Dormammu can stun a 7-7 Wong. Wong has lower resistance than say a Morgan, but you're going to want to put Skirmisher on that Dormammu, get as much focus as possible to make that more of a guarantee win and get that stun. Also, the other thing I forgot to mention is that Blue ISO 4 comes into play. You definitely want Blue ISO 4 on Morgan first. And then if you have Dormammu and you're facing Dorm holds, you'd want it on him. If not, if you're going with this other team because you don't have Dormammu, then you want Blue ISO 4 on Agatha. You want to get her focus up as much as possible. The Agatha team does win, obviously. We've been using this since before I got Dormammu. I just got Dormammu and started using him. The only problem with the Agatha team, it relies on you both getting both the Morgan ability block on turn 1 and then stunning Morgan with Agatha. This is why you want Blue ISO 4 on her. So that is the key. It is a double check of resistance. Either one of those could go wrong, and if either one of those goes wrong, your odds of winning are very low, if not impossible. And finally, this does work sometimes. That's why it is in red. It's a very lower probability, but you can do the cloning as well to get past Dorm Hold. But wouldn't rely on that, that's for sure. Red is the absolute worst probability of winning, but it can win. In rare, pretty much everything has to go perfect. Next, we have that team. If you use them on offense, you can put them on defense, though, but they are pretty easy to beat by simply bringing in either Kestrel Omega Red, or you can even bring in Loki. If you're going to bring in Loki or use for Loki, you definitely want to put the T4s onto his mind control, special mind control, and the T4 on his passive, even though it's only minus 10% resistance, because of the high resistance with Morgans. You're going to definitely want that. He'll speed up your team. You'll go first, even in this case. And yeah, you can just destroy them. Mega Red, you have an extra ability block, so either you have a double chance at ability blocking Morgan, or you can ability block their Agatha to keep them from stunning your Eternals. You have lots of options. It's actually quite easy to beat. And then we also have Emma Hold, another easy to beat team. All you do is you throw in Kestrel or Mega Red. Pretty much any good high-powered non-mystic will defeat this team. Just because then you're just going so much faster than them. And that will be it. You could even technically use Loki in here and probably get past them. I haven't tried it though. It'd probably work. And of course the other option is bring Dormammu and just win like that too. We'll skip over here real quick. I'll talk about if somebody actually uses Doom. The best option probably is Kestrel, but Omega Red works too because you can get an ability block Doom. Normally, the Kestrel version you don't even target Doom. You just target everybody else and Doom just dies, thanks to like Icarus and stuff. This is a very easy matchup. And then of course probably the next most popular, probably one of the second or third most popular defense is the Loki variant. This one has a lot of RNG involved with it, and there's lots of teams that can work. Let's start at the bottom. Zemo. Well, pretty much you need a big Zemo, and you need to pray to God he lands that ability block on Morgan, and or can get some slows on Cersei or Icarus, depending on where they're positioned. It is a low probability of winning. You nearly need things to go perfect. You could also do this, have Zemo go first, and then have a coin toss of whose Morgan goes second if you don't land it. Very RNG dependent. Highly do not recommend. Another option would be the Black Bolt Kestrel. This depends on you nuking down their Icarus, depending how big their Icarus is, how big your Black Bolt and Kestrels are. And if Loki, and the other problem is if Loki gets nuked down by their Morgan, depending how big your Loki is, if he can survive that or not. If he can survive it, you do mind control the Icarus, hope you get somebody good that hits him, and you hit him with Kestrel's ultimate. If that doesn't kill him, you hope that Black Bolt's ping. If Black Bolt's big enough to put out enough damage to kill him. If Icarus gets a turn off, you lose, probably. Then we had the full Darkhold. Even this is not guaranteed against this team, depending on who they go, because they're going to go and take a bunch of turns real quick. And depending who they focus on, they could kill somebody that you need, like an Agatha. I've actually found putting Wong directly in the middle, because the AI favoring that gives us a higher probability of winning. It does win pretty often, about 2/3 to 3/4 of the time. Like I said, that can happen where they target the wrong person and then they die. Emma usually does die. Full Darkhold's a bit better because Scarlet Witch does have better survivability than Emma, just because she does spawn with that defense up. She has the safeguard, and then if she does survive, you can also use her to heal up again. Also extend debuffs, so that gives Darkhold a bit better of a chance, high probability of winning. Again, though, depending on who they target, you could lose. And honestly, the best counter is actually to bring in Dormammu and make it a Dormhold, because it doesn't matter if they kill somebody, they're just going to come back. They're highly doubtful that they're going to kill somebody twice before you can start killing them off. It's a pretty good team to use Dormhold against. Unfortunately, it is a very annoying defense. Not much else you're going to do against it. You could probably come up with some other weird thing that works here and there, maybe at lower levels. It's all going to depend on where your teams are built. If you need to refer to it, here is the legend. Green, high probability of winning. Yellow, 50 to 75. Orange, 25 to 50. And red is the lowest probability. You need things pretty much to go perfect. So, like I said, this infographic will be in my Discord. I'll have a link to it and in the description as well. Until next time, everybody,